Alright tubers, we're going to change gears again. Been working on my tractors and cooking a little bit, working on the garden, so on and so forth, and been a little too busy to finish up my project with my Type 4 motor. What we're going to do, I always, when I have a motor out, a VW anyway, or even when I'm, like if I got a motor out of a Chevrolet or whatever, and I've got access to the torque converter, I'll change the front pump seal, whatever. It's just what, $3 or $4 seal, and you've already got the motor out. You might as well just go ahead and change it so you don't have trouble in the future. These things leak enough anyway. I changed my rear main seal because I had the motor out. I had the flywheel off and everything, so I went in and changed the rear main seal in this, and it was a little bit dry. So what I'm going to do is kind of an afterthought on my part. I should have done it when I had to, before I had all this on here, but I want to change this front pump, or the front crank seal on this before I stick it in my van. So really it's not too big a deal. You just need to loosen up your alternator, get it slid back, get your belt off, pull your fan off, then you got to get the hub adapter off. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this loose, get my fan off, and then we'll start working on pulling that hub adapter. Alright, what I'm going to start doing here, guys, on this this bolt that goes through right here, holds your alternator, I'm going to loosen it up. It's there's just a nut on the back side here. Get my wrench on it. Alright guys, I got that lower bolt loose. It's use an extension and a swivel, 13mm to get to that. It's kind of in a bit of a tight spot. I'll loosen this up and get her belt off here. This belt was in pretty good shape, so I just went in and kept it. Be a good time to change one if you needed to. Get all these bolts out of the fan. Hopefully the rest of the project will go just as well. Been pretty smooth so far. Getting these fans off can be a little aggravating, but they come off eventually. I just use this hammer so I don't beat it down too much. Guys, I'm going to set my puller up. These bolts are pretty long, the ones that fit these, so I'm going to have to back this guy out a little bit till I get a reasonable. I think it'll be just about reasonable there. We'll get plenty of bolt, plenty of thread in here in this hub adapter, because you can, if you're not careful, you can, if you only put that much thread in it, and you try to pull that off, you're just going to pull the threads out of either your bolt or your hub adapter, which neither would be really good. I'll get these bolts ran in here, and then we'll try to get this bad boy off here and get the seal replaced. And there we go, guys. Got the hub adapter off. This is the seal I need to replace right here. The seal right here. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. Alright guys, we got our seal popped out here. Got my new one laying here. I like to just, make sure I've got the right seal. I don't always trust the auto parts, which my part provider is pretty good, but you never know. The seal, you can see, kind of show you, had a little age on it. When I pop that out, you can see there how it cracked. That seal's old. That'd probably leak like a sieve. I'm glad I changed it. But we're going to go ahead. Most of the time, you don't have to do this. You can just put a little oil on here and tap it on back. I'm going to use just a little bit of aviation because there were some rough places that I just want to make sure it seals. And I like to put something on there, even if it's just oil or a little white lithium grease, to help it lubricate its way, you know, just slide right back without tearing or anything. In my mind, this is just as important a surface as this is. So anyway, I've got my hub adapter. I just took it, cleaned it up good. I don't like putting dirty parts back in the motor while I've got them out. So we're going to put a little aviation on this. I'm just going to tap it right back in there, and then we'll put the hub adapter on and try to put this motor back together. I'd like to get this in my van pretty soon. I've been kind of putting it off for a while. I've been so busy with everything else. So anyway, I'll catch you guys in just a minute. Okay guys, for this I was talking to you about with the sealant. Where this case goes together, it's fine up on top. At the bottom here, somebody at some point has put a little ding right here, and it made a little rough spot. That's why I want this. That's why I want to have this aviation on the outside of this seal. I want to make sure everything seals up good. Like I said, these things are notorious oil leakers. You know, it's kind of one of those things with a Volkswagen that you either love them or hate them. And one of the reasons for that is they're prone to leak oil. And a lot of people won't put up with that, you know. So you really gotta love them with their oil leaks and everything. I just try to keep it to a minimum. You can use a number of different things to put this seal in with. I don't recommend you use anything really blunt. If you're gonna, they make seal drivers actually, installers, you know, that you can use for this. I like to get it started all the way around, and then just use something blunt. Like these have blunt edges on them. You just don't want to. It's just a half inch extension, and I'm just gonna run around with this real easy. You can use the end of a hammer. Take another hammer if you want to do that. Really blunt, anything really blunt. I've even used just a block of wood before to drive a seal in with. In a pinch. Either way, you just don't want to use anything with a sharp edge on it. We're going to line the keyway up here, guys. Get it lined up. There we go. Now I want to get my hub adapter tapped back in place. It's going to take a socket that's bigger than the end of the crankshaft. They have one here. Yeah. Some people would call this a terrible abuse of tools. That's okay, as long as it gets it in place.